Crime Cafe, your podcasting source of great crime, suspense, and thriller writing. I'm your host, Debbi Mack. Before I bring on my guest, I'll just remind you that the Crime Cafe has 2 ebooks for sale, the 9-book box set and the short story anthology. You can find the buy links for both on my website, debbimack.com, under the Crime Cafe link. You can also get a free copy of either book if you become a Patreon supporter. You'll get that and much more if you support the podcast on Patreon, along with our eternal gratitude for doing so. But first, let me put in a good word for Blueberry Podcasting. I'm a Blueberry affiliate, but that's not the only reason I'm telling you this. I've been using Blueberry Podcasting as my hosting service for my podcast for years, and it's one of the best decisions I ever made. They give great customer service. You're in complete control of your own podcast. You can run it from your own website, and it just takes a lot of the work out of podcasting for me. I find for that reason that it's a company that I can get behind 100% and say, you should try this. Try Blueberry. It doesn't require a long-term contract, and it's just a great company, period. And it also has free technical support by email, video, and phone. So you can get a human being there. Isn't that nice? Hi, everybody. Today my guest is the author of 5 critically acclaimed suspense novels, including her latest novel, The Divorce Party. Originally from Durham City, England, after studying at the University of London Goldsmith College, she moved to Winnipeg, Canada, where she worked as an English literature teacher, then as a freelance writer. It's my great pleasure to have with me Marjorie DeLuca, who writes under the name M.M. DeLuca. Hey, Marjorie, how are you doing today? Let me see if I can get
Great.
you in view. There you go.
Great. It's
Awesome.
great to be here. Lovely to talk
Excellent.
to you.
Well, I'm very pleased to have you on. It says, how are things in Manitoba anyway? How are things in Winnipeg?
Hot and humid.
Hot and humid.
Hot, humid, windy with periods of rain,
Oh my, that
but
sounds like us.
greener than usual.
Well, there you go. There's that.
Yeah, yeah,
Let's see. Now, in your bio, it says that you studied advanced creative writing with Pulitzer Prize winner Dr. Carol Shields. What was it like
yes.
to study such a subject with a Pulitzer Prize winner?
It was like meeting a rock star. It
I was
really
gonna
was. We
say.
were her final class before she retired. And we were all sitting there that day in awe because she just won the Pulitzer Prize. We're sitting there just waiting for her to come in, and she slipped through the door. She was this very petite, quiet lady, and she was just amazing. She had a charisma about her, and she wasn't just your teacher. She was a friend, a mentor, and she loved to meet with us outside of class, and we'd all go for lunches, and she'd say, "Tell me the gossip, come on." And she was just a wonderful teacher, and actually a lot of the things that we did in class I used as an English teacher, but she had a profound effect, influence on my career. It was an amazing 1 year that we spent with her, and after that she moved away to the coast, to BC, and sadly passed away some years after that.
Ah,
But yeah, it was a fabulous experience.
was this during, I assume these are graduate studies.
This was, yes, it was, but it was, you had to send in a piece of work or several pieces, and she selected the participants. So it was a 1 year, just once a week course. It was, yeah.
Sounds very much like a fellowship or something like that.
Yeah, well, she was a professor at the University of Manitoba for many years. And when she won the Pulitzer Prize, I think she was the only female professor at the time.
Oh my
The other
goodness.
male colleagues were a bit miffed, I think.
Oh dear.
She won the prize. But anyway, no, that maybe that's not fair. But she was, yeah, she had been there quite a while as a teacher, a professor.
Well,
Yeah.
that's just extraordinary that you had that opportunity. That's fabulous.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, what genre would you say your writing falls into?
Do you know, I'm all over the place, really. I get bored in one genre. I started off in sci-fi, young adult sci-fi, when I was teaching grades 10 to 12. And around that time, the Hunger Games came out, and the kids just loved it, even reluctant readers. As I was reading them, I thought, I could write something like this. And so that's when I really started getting serious about putting something together. And I wrote a trilogy called The Forevers. I got here's the cover of it. Um, I couldn't find a publisher, so I self-published the trilogy and actually did pretty well. And later on, I adapted it into a series, and I actually got shortlisted for a Netflix call for submissions
Wow.
with my pilot and pitch, but they didn't pick it up. But I'm still hoping that someone will. So I
Hmm.
started off with that. Then you can see I'm all over the place. Then I went into historical fiction and wrote this family saga called The Pitman's Daughter. Um, and that's kind of based on my mother's reminiscences as growing up in a colliery town in Durham, near Durham, in the
Hmm.
northeast of England. She was a pitman's daughter, a coal miner's daughter.
Hmm.
Um, I couldn't get that published by a publisher, so I self-published it. And then I really love historical fiction. The first book I got published was this The Savage Instinct, which is fact meets fiction, um, based set against the trial of real life serial poisoner Mary Ann Cotton. Um, so that's when I started getting into suspense. I wrote another suspense book called Lila,
Hmm.
and then began a string of contemporary suspense. So I had The Perfect Family Man, which was a big bestseller, The Secret Sister, The Night Side, which is sort of dark paranormal suspense, and then The Divorce Party, which is I sort of got tired of being in the dark side after The Savage Instinct and um, The Night Side. I thought I think I need something light, so I came up with this The Divorce Party, which is uh, exactly what it says. Friends from university who are invited by their frenemy, I guess, to her divorce party in Las Vegas. I had a lot of fun writing that. Um,
I was
and
going to say that sounds very acerbic wit stuff.
oh, it was such fun writing it and researching it was so funny. There's a whole industry devoted to divorce parties
Oh my
in
gosh, I
Las
had no idea.
Vegas.
Oh, that I can
I had no
imagine.
idea.
I
Yeah,
didn't know, I don't know anything about it, but I can imagine. Wow.
no, I
What
didn't.
a
I knew
great
there was
thing
a
to tap
marriage.
into.
Well, there's the whole marriage thing with the
Oh,
chapels and
yes,
all of that
of
stuff.
course.
No, there's divorce cocktails, there's special divorce playlists, there's divorce party games. It's it's incredible.
Divorce party industry. Wow, that's fantastic.
I know.
Fantastic stuff.
And
Places you
it's
go
a,
when you start looking.
I know. And it's actually not as depressing as you think because a lot of these divorce parties are kind of looking at things as a fresh start, a way to reinvent yourself.
Precisely.
Unfortunately, in my book, it's not as nice as that. But
They're
and I'm
reinventing
sort of
themselves in bad ways, perhaps.
yes, they're actually trying to reinvent themselves, but the past keeps popping up like a
Yes.
corpse in a swimming pool.
That's right.
And then my latest one is another one of these destination thrillers, and that's set in Mexico in a
Huh.
big villa at a 60th wedding anniversary.
Deadly Diamonds.
Yeah, the cover isn't the book is still at the copy editing phase, but and we haven't the publisher hasn't done the cover release yet. So
Yeah.
yeah, so it's set during in Mexico during the weekend of Dia de los Muertos, and that's why I'm wearing a t-shirt with the
Nice.
yeah.
Very nice.
So I'm all over the genres. I jump
It
back and forth.
That's pretty impressive. I see you've done a combination of self-publishing and publishing through presses. Is that correct?
Yes, yeah,
But you started with self-publishing?
yeah. I started with self-publishing.
And when
I
was
think
that?
that was probably around 2013. The market was way less crowded.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
When I started self-publishing, it was possible to sell a decent number of books. So the Pitman's Daughter and the Forever's trilogy did quite well. Nowadays, I'm not so sure. I think it's really, really competitive and
Yes,
expensive to market, you know.
I know. I believe me, I know.
Oh yes, you
I'm right in
self-published?
there. Yeah, I'm self-published. Yeah.
Yes.
I am totally self-published at this point.
Yeah,
Um,
and it takes a lot of your time.
with a few
That's
exceptions. Oh yeah, it does. It takes a lot of
yeah,
time. Thing is
yeah.
that I'm also involved in screenwriting, so there's a
Same
lot of time
here.
that gets devoted. You do screenwriting.
Yes.
Excellent. Most
Yeah.
excellent. Good to know. Um, how did you get into screenwriting?
My daughter is a costume designer um, for film, and one of her earlier projects, she was involved in some Hallmark movies, and I saw some of these. And oh, I can write one of those. So I co-wrote a Hallmark feature with a friend of hers who's involved in the movies as well. It never got anywhere. Then I adapted the Forevers and did that pitch and the pilot episode and got a lot of encouragement from the Netflix executive who really loved it. But unfortunately, there's that phrase, we love it, but we're not going to go with
Yes, yeah,
it.
getting the green light is
I
hard.
know it's so,
It's
I think
become
it's more difficult.
harder.
Yes, it's more difficult than even getting a book published, I think. And then I met up with another friend of hers who's a production designer, and he wanted someone to co-write an action thriller with him. So we co-wrote an action thriller, which is actually going through develop some early stages of development. So I'm hopeful.
That's great.
Yeah, and I've had some
Excellent.
interest in the divorce party, so people interested in adapting it, so we'll see. But
Wonderful. Good to
you never
hear.
know until the green light comes on.
Exactly.
It's it's
It's
in
all very
suspension.
sketchy, sketchy until it
Yes.
actually happens.
Yeah.
And even
But
as
it
it's
does
happening,
help.
it might get shut down. You never know.
I know, I know. But it screenwriting does help with novel writing.
It does. You're absolutely right about that.
Yes.
I learned that fast.
Hmm.
Um, how do you decide which story you want to tell?
Um, that's interesting because it takes me a long time. Um, I've usually got two or three projects going at the same time that come to me through either the inspiration either comes from a memory, an image that was catchy to me, something that I saw in the news, maybe, or somebody that I met that's kind of sparked an idea. Um, so um, a project that I'm working on right now that might be picked up by a publisher is it was suggested to me by a childhood image of when I was a kid. Somebody We lived in a house just outside of Durham City, and I remember one day there was a terrible accident outside the front of the house, a car accident, and I remember we had a little kind of bank that I could look out onto the road from. And I remember seeing a pair of red child's shoes. And this red shoes thing kind of stuck in my mind forever. And just that image sets off a whole set of different ideas for me. And it takes me a while to kind of explore the ideas before I start writing it, because I've done the opposite where I've gone full tilt on an idea that's not fully developed. And then you're like, okay, now what? Um,
Exactly.
so I then I've got another project, which is a sci-fi one, which um, that came to me when I thought about deserted shopping malls. We went for a visit down to Grand Forks, which is just south of us in North Dakota. And the mall, which used to be busy in the 90s, was a dead zone. It was the weirdest place I've ever
Hmm.
stepped into. There was like the food court was empty, there were no stores. It was a ghost town.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, then I started thinking, wow, what if these in the future were places that people lived? And, what if the grid failed, basically, and people were forced to live in these malls, but the wealthy people lived in biospheres? So I came up with an idea. There were three classes of people: the wealthy people living in the biospheres, the mid-range people living in the malls and the old Costco warehouses, and then the feral people living wild.
Mm-hmm.
And came up with this story about the wealthy people uh, wanting to move off of the planet, basically. And it's a whole complicated story, but that idea was just suggested by the mall.
Yeah.
So I've got all of these projects going, and I kind of dot from one to the other. And my rule is if it doesn't get me in the gut, like if I don't feel an emotional connection after writing it for a while, I put it aside. For me, it has to touch the emotions somewhere. And that's how I decide. I kind of have this two or three projects. I write a bit here and a bit there. But if it hasn't got some emotional resonance, then I put it aside for a while until I can come up with something better.
I know the feeling because I
Yeah.
think it must be a screenwriter thing because I have like multiple screenplays that I've started,
Yeah.
ideas that I really want to develop and take somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
It's always about which one do I really connect with the most.
Yes, I know. I mean, I'm sure writers have so many ideas in their drawer, like in their, sitting on their laptop that could be great stories. I've got lots of those. But
Exactly. Yeah,
it takes a really fully formed idea to go to the end of a novel.
exactly. Or a feature film. I was going to
Yes.
say that you must be an outliner at heart.
No, I'm not actually. That's why
Interesting.
screenwriting was so good for me. It forced
It
me to
forced you to do
outline
that.
things.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'm a kind of semi plotter, semi outliner. I'll have a basic outline, and I usually know the ending,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'll start writing from there. But I'm not a beat by beat person unless I'm writing a screenplay.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I then tend to be more beat by beat, but I'm willing to vary from the beats. This
Yeah,
is the thing for me. It's like if I know where I'm going, that's what counts.
Yeah,
I
well,
know.
that's you do need to know the ending. Well, it's
Yeah,
interesting because we are working on the publisher, the editor, my publisher that published The Savage Instinct. We are working on an adaptation of it, but it's amazing just how much a feature movie requires you to strip the story right down to the essentials.
absolutely.
So I've done the beat sheet for The Savage Instinct, and I had to cut lots of the story out. Like I had to cut some side plots and some characters because the movie is just really lean. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you have to get down to the essence of it.
Exactly. Yeah. You can't have too many subplots. You
Right,
can't have too many
right.
characters. Not only is that
Yes,
going to confuse the audience, but the cost goes up. More
yes.
actors.
Well, that's the thing. Yes, and that's
This
what
is a
the
reality.
yeah, and that's what my editor was kept telling me: more characters, more money. And at the center of the Savage Instinct, it's really a story about two women, a
Mm-hmm.
childless woman and a child poisoner, and it's set in the Victorian era. But it's a really uh, strange dynamic between these two women. The childless woman is a prison visitor visiting the child poisoner. So a very strange relationship
Mm.
develops because the childless woman's husband is very oppressed. He's basically oppressing her. And yes, she sort
Yeah.
of is, forms a friendship with the poisoner, and a sort of strange mentorship arises. I won't say anymore.
Yeah, that does sound like a strange mentorship. Um, let's see. What authors do you like to read?
Interesting. I just the book that I'm currently reading now is written by a Canadian author who I really loved his first book. It's called The Caretaker by Marcus Cleaver. He wrote We Used to Live Here. I don't know whether you've heard of that one. Um, he's very, very good. I love Margaret Atwood. I think I've read most of her books.
Mm.
Um, I read trying to think. I have so many books that I like. I do read, I used to read more suspense and thrillers than I do now. Um, I liked Gillian McAllister.
Oh
I think
yeah.
it's Gillian McAllister's. I really liked her. Lisa Jewell, I've enjoyed some of her books. Um, then I just read a book called Liberty Street, which is by another Canadian author, about a journalist that goes into a women's prison in the 60s.
Mm.
Um, it's a sort of, she gets herself admitted to a women's prison because in the 60s you could be sent there if you were incorrigible.
Mm.
You were an incorrigible young woman that your parents couldn't contain you. You could be sent to this awful prison.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah. So I read a variety of books.
Wow, that sounds like quite an interesting book.
Yeah.
Scary and horrible, but
Yeah.
interesting. How do you divide your time between writing and marketing?
Market. I probably don't do enough marketing. The publisher does some. I'm published at present with a smaller British press, Bloodhound Books, and they're really good at producing marketing materials. They do beautiful visuals, and they make a trailer for the book, and they're they're really helpful. But you still, as the author, have to do quite a bit yourself. So,
Oh yes.
there's Instagram posts. Well, I don't know. I mean, if we knew what worked, it's, I'm not sure. I see people nowadays are doing lots of kind of recorded messages on Instagram and stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
guess to make sure that people don't think AI wrote their book or something. They're trying to personalize their um, their author platform. Um, I have a website, but it takes a lot of time to do all this stuff.
Oh yeah,
And you
that's for
can sit,
sure.
I write every morning, but once I've gone through the emails and then looked after a couple of things, I'm like, okay, where's the time when I haven't written anything? So I have to have deadlines. I work best with a tight deadline. So um, my book, The Night Side, was published with Severn House, who are
Mm-hmm.
taken over now by Joffrey Books. And so I might be doing another one for them. I'm not sure, but I gave myself a deadline to finish this book. So once I know it's coming up, then I really go to it and forget the marketing for a while.
Yeah, that's probably best.
Yeah,
When you're
I,
in the zone on something, you really just have to
yeah,
kind of stick with that.
yeah.
Let's see, what kind of writing schedule do you keep?
Well, I write every morning, um,
Mm-hmm.
and take the afternoon off. Otherwise, my husband would, he's like, come on, let's go out. And I'm like, okay, we golf and all of that. Then I write sometimes in the evening as well. Depends just what kind of a schedule I've got.
Yeah.
But you do have to set aside a period of time, but you can't do it all the time. And I tend to write more in the winter. The summer is a bit difficult because you're just wanting to get outside
Mm-hmm.
and to be in the fresh air. So, but
Absolutely.
I
Yeah.
write Saturdays and Sundays. There's no day off. And in
Hmm.
fact, really, there's no time off ever because you probably know this, you're always thinking about ideas.
Oh, yes. A writer never really takes a vacation.
No, no, no.
There's always something good cooking up there. I don't know.
Yeah, even when I'm on vacation, I'm thinking,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Will I write about this?
yeah, yeah.
That's interesting. Sometimes I catch myself blogging in my head,
Oh, really?
so to
Yeah,
speak. Yeah. How would I
yeah,
blog this particular scene that's taking place
yeah.
right now?
And then you drift away, and your husband's probably like, "Hello,
Hey, are you
where?"
there? Yeah.
Yeah,
You're not listening to me? Okay.
yes. Actually, I've gotten into trouble a few times because I'm a people watcher
Oh
and
yeah.
staring at people and their interactions. And I've had more than one set of people say, "Do you want a photograph or something?"
It's
Oh,
funny because I
sorry.
have to really catch myself not to do that. It's like I will see something, I'm just like, wow, that's really interesting. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, if people start to get, to the point where they're like, hey, what are you
Yeah.
looking at? That would
Yeah.
worry me a little bit.
Yeah. Well, actually, that was something that Carol Shields told us to do. She said,
Interesting.
you have to develop your writer's eyes and ears. So you look for something beyond the obvious.
Exactly.
And then you listen to other people's conversations. And actually, I have that in, I think it's in my book, The Night Side, maybe, yeah, I talk about that. The character talks about that. It's either that or the perfect family man. I can't remember. Now I'm getting them mixed up. But I used to tell that to my students because I taught creative writing at high school. And I'd send them out to just find images, find things around the school that they'd never looked at before and never, and they would come back and write it all on the board, and there'd be a mass of different images, and it was amazing experience. Then I'd tell them to listen in on conversations, and we'd make big displays of that, and
Mm-hmm.
they would go away and write stories inspired by one or more of those images or sound bites. It was a great, they loved it.
That's a
It
very
was a
cool
good,
thing. Very
yeah, it
cool
was.
thing to get people writing.
Yeah,
Good writing prompts.
yeah.
What advice would you give to anyone who's interested in a writing career?
Have a day job.
Yes.
You can't make enough money as a writer unless you're one of the top. I don't even know what the percentage is now. There's not enough money to support you as a writer. So have a day job if you're a young person, have a backup, um, and have a very thick skin because you're going to get criticized, you're going to get you're going to be putting your work out there, and you're going to get some very weird reviews sometimes. But you can't
Mhm.
personalize it because not everybody's going to like what you put out there. And another thing I would say is that for the older writer, it's never too late. Writing is one thing that you can do regardless of your age. It doesn't matter how old you are, as long as you can sit down and come up with a story, keep going with it. It's a great thing to do as a retired person because you're not worrying so much about the financial side of it. Um, but I would say only do it if you're willing to kind of pour out, sort of plunder your own emotional life and lay it bare for everyone to see.
Hmm.
It's a risky thing to do.
Yes. Yes,
And
it
you hold
is.
yourself, you expose yourself to other people's scrutiny, you know?
Yes, yes, it is. It is a risky thing. And I'm
Yeah.
not sure people really appreciate that until they
Yeah.
actually do it.
Well, the very first time that I had to share a piece of my work was in Carol's class. And there's like a heart pounding, your heart's pounding, you're like flushed and hot and cold. And you're like, people are going to hate it. People are going to hate it. And then you read it. And thankfully, people liked what I read. So once I'd done it a few times, I was fine. But I know a lot of young writers are reluctant to share their work. I would get students coming to me and saying, I've got this book of poems. Will you look at it? And I'd say, well, do you want me just to read it or do you want me to give you constructive feedback? And some students would say, no, I just want you to read it because it's part of me and I don't care to revise it. And
Hmm.
others would say, yeah, I want to make it better. So know why you're writing. Are you writing to share it with other people? Or is it just
Precisely.
something cathartic for you, you know? And if it's something to share and publish, then you have to know that writing is a business as well.
Yes, yes, to all of what you said. I
Yeah.
think, I mean, what great advice.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you. Is there anything else you'd like to add before we finish up?
Um, I think one of the things that, as a writer, that has been wonderful for me is, and probably for you too, is finding a community of writers, a virtual community, as well as writers here in my own hometown. But I have a very tight-knit group of writer friends all over the UK, the US, and Canada. And because it's such a solitary pursuit, it's great to have those people to complain to sort of
Yes.
vent to ask how they're doing. It's amazing. I'm sure. Do you find that too?
Oh, it's definitely a good thing to have community.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
Of people to talk about these things.
yeah. And
Absolutely.
we get to, and there's some great organizations that sort of are helpful in that. But I get to meet some of these people in person now at the VoucherCon in October.
Hmm.
That's a
That's
big,
right.
the international, no, it's not the International Thriller Writers, that's Thriller Fest. It's, yeah, it's this year, it's in Calgary,
Calgary,
a big
yes.
conference. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that and moderating a panel.
It makes me wish
Um,
I decided to go.
yeah,
Shoot.
Calgary's a beautiful place. Yeah.
Yeah, I really would love to go back up to Canada and see more of it.
Yeah, I think they're doing some tours to the Rockies, to Banff,
Hmm.
and it's not too late.
I'll give it some serious thought.
Yeah, yeah,
See if I can convince my husband to go up to Canada. I don't
yeah.
see why he would object. He objects to so
No.
much that's going on down here that
Oh, yeah.
going to Canada might be a relief
Yeah,
for a
escape
while.
to the Rockies. You love it.
Yeah, yeah.
And Calgary's
Canadian
such a lovely
Rockies.
town.
I've heard that they're
Yeah.
fabulous looking too.
Oh, spectacular.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you so much for being here and hang around for a little bit more because we're going to do a bonus episode for the Patreon supporters.
Okay.
All righty. Excellent. Thank you so much for being here,
Thank
Marjorie.
you. It was great to talk to you.
Great talking to you too. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks.
So to all my listeners, thank you so much for listening. That goes especially to my Patreon and Substack supporters. Thank you for following me there and for supporting me there. If you enjoyed this episode, please leave a review. They help. And until next time, happy reading, and I'll be seeing you.